Below the road, it's 12 to 15 feet deep. In the center of the ditch, it's 7 or 8. Pretty particular. This is a little above our responsibility. I've never been that far.
Alright, we're going to get started here. Everybody could either take a seat or stand or get a little bit closer so you can hear speakers.
Just, I don't know that.
Excuse me.
District 2 is made up of 8 counties here in Northwest Ohio. And I'm going to start off with some of the best news of the day. This interchange will be open by the end of the day, so that's worth it. And if it's not, Craig from Picosi, you can take your complaints up with him. So thank you, Craig, for that reassurance. The planning for this interchange at this location actually started well back in the 1990s. They've been talking about this interchange for decades, and really many of the studies suggested that we needed to widen 475 before the interchange can take place due to the capacity issues. This project is actually the last 3 phases of an 8-phase plan. So that phases started out and we tackled 4th Street interchange and some other winding, tackled some bridge windings. So this is the end of an 8-phase strategy that has lasted well over a decade. And that included, again, 2 new interchanges, which is something unusual. It doesn't happen every day. It's atypical, and it's very atypical to have 2 interchanges open within a matter of 5 years. So the Door Street interchange is one, and the one we're standing on right here today, 20A, is the other. So it takes partnerships to get this to happen. And I want to really make that a focus of what I'm talking about. And we want to thank those partners. So we have the Joint Economic Development Zone, which is made up of the City of Toledo, City of Maumee, and Monclova Township. We have TMCOG that contributed significantly to this project. The Lucas County TID, Transportation Improvement District, which is run through Mike Panuski's office, our county engineer here. And Lucas County, City of Maumee, and Monclova Township as well participate on their own, along with the Toledo-Lucas County Port Authority. So we appreciate those contributions and the vision and the leadership to get something like this done today. So again, those collaborations created a very unique environment where this was one of the highest scoring projects that track, which is any project over $10 million has to go to this track board, one of the highest scoring projects that's ever received in its history. And that's a tribute to the local partners and the need and the necessity. So with that, the first person I'm going to ask to come and speak is somebody that was with the township actually, that was a big leader in trying to get this done. And I actually had a meeting, I think it was 2017, Chuck, in our office in DG, and he was really wondering, like, are we ever going to get this done? And should we keep putting money into it? And I told him, I go, you know, eventually we'll get it done. It might not be for our generation, it might be for the next generation, but thankfully it's for our generation as well as the next generation. So with that, I'd like Chuck Herschel, the Monclova Township trustee, to come up and say a few words.
Great day today. Look at this. It's a nice breeze, cool out here, but my name's Chuck Herschel, and I'm currently the chair of the Board of Trustees for Monclova Township. And this day is, I think it's a long day coming, and I don't think many districts since my 1980 freedom plan. I'm here all day and I'm cutting my grass, but I've been in Disney World a long time, but the Horizons exhibit Disney World through there's a which is a look into the future. There's a quote in the exhibit that says, if you can dream it, representatives from the Port Authority, McDonald's wants to get the vision to start to bring land out here for the interchange. The vision and dream was facility access via 28 to the Eugene Creedence Toledo Express Airport. So they took action on that dream and started buying this land. Then another big movie created. So in 1989, we had a master field dream that says if you build it, they will come. So we started building it, and everybody in that movie thought Ray Kinsella, the Kevin Costner character, was crazy, and people were telling us there's no way that the locals are going to cobble together $17.5 million, 50% of the $35 million total construction price for this. Well, we did a lot of meetings. Rich Martin was involved in a lot of meetings. Pat mentioned going back all the way to 2017. A lot of meetings, a lot of phone calls, a lot of arm twisting, a lot of good old-fashioned Catholic guilty. But we were able to cobble together the $17.5 million. And with those local partners, with Jim McDonald's here from the City of Maumee, Monclova Township, Sandy Spade, TMCOG, her predecessors helped us with a significant grant. Mike Panuski, the Lucas County Engineer's Office, and the Lucas County TID, Lucas County, and of course the Port Authority. To all of these partners, we say thank you. You know, according to some of the realtors I've talked to, I know in the township we rezoned, and some parcels on our side of the interchange are sold. So if you build them, they were coming, but they're coming. They're coming. And as Joe Campbell here, he can tell you what's going on at the south side of the airport. There's stuff going right there. You guys got phones ringing up the whole right. Yeah. So lastly, I would like to quote a philosopher, a warrior philosopher who lived in a galaxy far, far away, and he said, do or do not, there is no try. Well, we did it. So, thank you.
I did not arrange that flyover. That was pretty cool that we got it, but that was something a little unique. Actually, I think when we did the groundbreaking, coincidentally, we were out here, had a similar ceremony and flying over that day too. So I don't know if somebody knows somebody, but it certainly isn't me. So I want to talk about our project personnel and some other folks that made this come to reality. I want to recognize our ODOT personnel with the project, Julie Fays, our project manager, and her team. The 475 part of this project, which is the widening and reconstruction 475, was actually done all in-house. Mike Benton and Dan Kelsey were our project engineers at different times throughout the project. Brian French, our area engineer. We had a lot of inspectors out here that did a fantastic job. Our consultant is here, Craig with Arcadis, as well as some other folks from Arcadis, and their sub-consultants who did the design of the interchange. Our contractor, Picosi, Craig's back there, I already gave him a hard time. Make sure we get this open today, right, since I said that. And their respective contractors. Those hardworking union workers, those operators, carpenters, laborers, iron workers, teamsters, cement masons, and others who built this. Our crews from our Lucas County garage that were out here directing traffic, but they also came out and before the project started, they cut down on some of the trees that needed to cut down, making sure we were able to move as quickly as possible. Also like to recognize the Toledo Regional Chamber of Commerce, Dana Corporation, Spartan Chemical, and Arrowhead Park Association are working with us during construction, and of course the general public, everybody else for your patience, and that we completed this significant highway project, and we'll be ready to open it shortly. So with that, I'm going to ask our Lucas County engineer, Mike Panuski, to come up and say a few words about the partnership that we've had with this and his leadership and TID for getting this done.
Thank you, Pat. This is a wonderful day, and a project like this doesn't come to fruition without teamwork and collaboration. And this truly is a regional partnership. Projects like this don't happen unless a lot of people from a lot of places would come together and have a joint vision and decide that they want to do something and do whatever it takes to make sure and make it happen. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of meetings and working together. It takes a lot of talking to our legislators about the importance of this project and why it's important and why we're worth getting funded. In essence, for anything to really come together, we all have to work as a team. And this is proof that teamwork brings dividends and teamwork works. From our teamwork with the Monclova Township trustees, with our friends at the city of Maumee, with our friends at the Ohio legislature, thank them for being here, for our friends at ODOT and the governor, from TMACA, from the Chamber of Commerce, from our business community here that have been pushing for this project for a long time. This is what happens when people have a vision and work together and want to get things done. And I couldn't be happier to be here. I look forward to the next phase of us working together to move Northwest Ohio forward. Without teamwork like this, without our port authority, without everyone coming together to move things forward, that's how things get done in Northwest Ohio. It's regionalism, it's working together, it's understanding that a project in Monclova Township in Maumee is good for Toledo and the region. It's about working together to ensure that we continue to have the right connections we have to move forward. With the Gordie Howe Bridge, and hopefully a future connection to Columbus, with all kinds of things that we need as a region to move forward. I know that our team and the people that are standing here today are going to continue to work together to get things done. So with that, I thank you and look forward to the next great project here to move Northwest Ohio.
Thank you, Mike. I wanted to talk about the project benefits. As I stated, this project was decades in the making. Rich Martinko is actually here today. I believe it started when he was the deputy director decades ago. He also helped put the TID financing together, Transportation Improvement District financing. Tom Kovacic has been a tireless advocate for projects in Northwest Ohio. Just want to give him a shout out. This interchange adds a connection and provides greater overall efficiency to help support ongoing development in the area. that we have also seen many of our interstates that we have received more and more development in many of our interstates. A lot of it's because of our logistical providence that we're seeing in Northwest Ohio. It's the places like the Port Authority. We have a very robust train system in this area as far as movement of freight. We have a great port to our West Airport. So these are all different things that make us significant and make us unique and really are bringing in logistics companies. Us.20A is a major connector to the city of Maumee and services the industrial parks. This new interchange that I mentioned before will provide a direct connection to the backside of the Eugene F. Krantz Airport and also a better connection to the I-80-90 Turnpike. So with that, I'd like to bring up Thomas Winston, President of the Lucas County, Toledo Lucas County Port Authority, say a few words.
It'll be nice to see a ribbon for this handed together.
Thank you, Pat. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Thomas Winston, President and CEO of the Toledo Lucas County Port Authority. And it is indeed a pleasure, an honor for me to represent the Port Authority on this occasion. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary as the first Port Authority in the state of Ohio, really established to spur economic development for this region. This is arguably the longest project from start to finish that we've been associated with. Nevertheless, we are certainly pleased with the outcome and truly believe it will be beneficial for this region. The Port Authority embarked and completed the Airport Environs Plan in 1998, which identified Us.20A as a future southern access point to the Eugene F. Krantz Toledo Express Airport, and ideal for a more expansive business development for this region and our county. The Port Authority, and particularly the Toledo Express Airport, serves as a hub of economic activity in Northwest Ohio by spurring manufacturing, military, air cargo, aviation training and education, commercial service, and general aviation operations, which support approximately 3,000 jobs and responsible for over $600 million annually in economic output for this region. Through thoughtful planning and collaboration, as mentioned before, we formed a joint economic agreement with the gathered partners to acquire the necessary right-of-way to enable this project and to coordinate the financing structure necessary to make this come to fruition. We are here today to celebrate the opening of this interchange, but also to demonstrate that public-public and public-private partnerships do work to advance the vitality of communities. And this interchange access project is a great example of great collaborative partners coming together on behalf of our respective communities. So on behalf of my board of directors and my colleagues at the Toledo Lucas County Port Authority, we are proud partners of this endeavor and welcome the opening of this interchange to foster alternative access and greater development opportunity for this community and our region as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. My next guest speaker, actually, I've been staring over there. We're looking right into the city of Maumee. So Mayor Jim McDonald has been a great supporter of this project. He also found out last week he's a boat captain too. We went out on the Sandpiper and he drove us around. So appreciate that. So Mayor, if you could come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Pat. This is an amazing project for Maumee. It really is. When you think about what it's allowed our city and the access to come right out of the downtown area and come west of here, it's a vital connection to a lot of things that are going on. And let me give you some examples. Arrowhead Park is right here. We have got the approval to fill in Graham Ditch at the bottom of the hill here. We're looking at the feasibility of getting a road that goes right into Arrowhead Park off of this interchange. And we have plenty of land that people are lining up to want to know how they can get a part of what's available in Arrowhead Park. The connector that leaves from this interchange and goes out to the expressway and right into Salisbury Road without even going out onto the expressway. It's an amazing design. You know, transportation is really our strength in this area, and where we're located and how that really affects our entire region. The next interchange right up here goes right to the Ohio Turnpike. I mean, think about the possibilities in this interchange that are going to happen because of just its location and the transportation aspects of what's around us. Amazon is right on Reynolds Road. We have UPS Hub right in Maumee. The farmers from US-24 and west of here, all the way to Indiana, can access the Anderson's grain mill, which is right here. And from there, rail will take that grain to the port, where large ships will take it out of our region. When you think about just a small piece of an interchange and what that means to everything around us, this is really a huge project, and it really means a lot for Maumee. It's just an example of a lot of progress and forward thinking, and we appreciate that and look forward to many more projects that we can do together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to go over some overall construction information. While the biggest change we made for this project is really the new interchange you're seeing right here at 20A. Again, this is also a major reconstruction and widening of I-475. We widened approximately 5 miles of I-475 between US-24 and Airport Highway and reconstructed the existing pavement. Replaced the bridges over the Norfolk Southern and over McClover Road. We also utilized a new technology called BAMTech, and it's a rolled out rebar. Actually, this bridge is the first bridge in the world that we're standing on today that utilized that technology. And resurfaced approximately 3 miles of US-24 from Waterville McClover Road to just east of the 475 interchange. The construction of the overall project is $102 million, so these projects are not cheap to build, but they certainly take this collaboration that we've been talking about to get them done. So with that, and speaking to collaboration, I'd like to welcome one of our other contributors here, and that's the President and CEO of TMACOG, and up to the stand. She's been a great partner, and they really help bring together this region more than just the transportation, but in other facets as well. So Sandy Spank.
Well, if you're catching kind of a theme, I think patience, the ability to hold a vision, a long-term vision, and partnership. Those are the themes. And the project you're celebrating today took a lot of vision and it took a lot of time to plan, design, fund, and construct. And TMACOG is so pleased to have been able to play a role in that. The 20A interchange was a recommendation in TMACOG's 2001 Expressway Needs Study. And it was among the highest ranking improvements to our transportation network in that study. Now, obviously you've heard about a lot of the benefits that resulted in that high ranking. Fast forward 17 years later, in 2018, TMACOG solicited projects for funding from our Surface Transportation Block Grant program. And the City of Maumee submitted a request for $4 million for construction of the 20A interchange. Obviously a portion of the construction. That was the highest scoring project in the funding round. And the leadership of our region made the decision to fund the project. We're so pleased that we could contribute locally managed funding and be a partner in this exciting, much needed project for our region. And as Pat said, that's really what we're about. We're about local decision making over the dollars that come into our region. And when a project like this can benefit our region in so many ways, our leaders see those advantages and they fund those projects. So we're so happy that we were able to play a role in this project. I'm happy today to be joined by our Director of Transportation, David Gedeon. He was along for the duration of this project, and so I'm sure that for him too, it's a great day. So thank you to everyone who played a role in this project, because it really is a story of vision and partnership. Thank you.
So, I want to talk a little bit about a DDI. So, it's not what's on Central Avenue. I know everybody asks that. I go to give a number of presentations and I say the word DDI. They're like, is it that thing on Central? I'm like, no, it's not the thing on Central. This is just like the one in Perrysburg. There's 3 more coming in Northwest Ohio. One's on County Road 99 in Findlay. And then we have one on Airport Highway planned, as well as one on US-20 or Fremont Pike on I-75 planned. These 2 bridges that we're on, we were able to actually use the existing bridge to keep traffic open. So that allowed 20A movement to continue while we were building this. So why a DDI? The answer is it creates a safer interchange that operates more efficiently. So some of the highlights: a conventional interchange, the conflict points is what we call it, which is a place a crash can exist. A DDI reduces that by more than half. So that's one of the reasons we put in a DDI. And a DDI also moves traffic better, increasing throughput by 10 to 30%, and increasing overall capacity by 15 to 25%. So it also makes it much more difficult to go the wrong way down the interstate. Pedestrian crossings are shorter, as you can see here. You only have to cross one direction of traffic to cross the road at any given time. You might have to cross multiple lanes, but it's one direction of traffic. So with that, some of the other funding partners we have is ODOT does get a lot of federal money. And with that, I'd like to welcome Congresswoman Capter up here to say a few words on Ohio's 9th Congressional District. Congresswoman Capter.
Pat, thank you. And I don't know about you, but I'm really happy to be here and to congratulate everyone who has been a part of this. And I was thinking about how long things take. As we're sitting here today at this, Pat, give me the total, 123.7 million, or is it more? 102? What happened to the other 23? I don't know, I gotta check that out. But your vision and your willingness to work together in partnership for American progress, oh my God. That is so hard to achieve in this great country now. With hundreds of millions of citizens. We're at about 360 million. We're going to go up to 400 million and more. And with Sandy Spang from Timocog here, we were up at the Gordie Howe Bridge the other day, and the Canadians spent at least 3.8 billion. So we compare the amount of money. One of my former colleagues from Alabama, before he left Congress, he chaired the committee that I now am #1 in my party on. And I said, what's the greatest thing you ever did in your career? He goes, Marcy, the greatest thing I ever did was extend a road across my district in Alabama. Well, I thought that was pretty good for Alabama. But to every single Maumee, Clova, Lucas County, Timocog, all of the citizens who are here today, for your stick-to-itiveness. I know we got cocosing experts back there somewhere, engineers and builders. We appreciate you. We appreciate you risking your lives for us and those that follow us. Okay, I think we need to give them some applause also. What it took to do this. And if you compare the Veterans Glass City Skyway over the Maumee River, that took us 16 years and $400 million. So to have 125 or whatever it is, 133, whatever the total number really is, since 2001, with inflation and everything, I mean, this is a major spoke in our community. So this is my time to advocate. First, to thank you for your leadership. This takes leadership. But also to say, US-20, the bill I was privileged to champion in Congress, creates US-20 as our nation's Medal of Honor highway. Ohio hasn't done anything with that yet. But with the planners who are here, Lucas County has the largest number of Medal of Honor winners, 9. And those awardees gave us the right to sit here today and stand here today and celebrate and build a better America. But we need to think about that. And then I have a request. One of my biggest frustrations, and maybe you can help me, is to redo the most inadequate and poorly accoutered exit on the U.S. Turnpike at US 20 in Lucas County, the intersection of Maumee and Toledo. And I'm going to give my sales pitch, okay? You got to stand there for another minute. There is no place else in the world like where we live. We live in the largest freshwater shed in the entire Great Lakes. Lake Erie, one of the shallowest of the lakes, but around it, the most abundant watershed known to humankind. Okay, we don't sell it. We don't advertise it. We don't do what we must in order to draw people in to where millions of visitors cross every year. This will be one of the portals of entry, but we have work to do. And I just want to beg the kind of forbearance, the kind of focus you put on this to think about what could happen there, but doesn't. For those who are involved in the river crossing, that will probably be a bikeway, where it required the cooperation of the metro parks in the region, in Lucas County, in Wood County, to imagine we need the most beautiful bike bridge and pedestrian bridge to cross just north of what crosses over the Maumee. You can't see the Maumee, you can't see it when you cross today. Just ugly concrete, not as beautiful as this. And I'm thinking, the largest river that flows into the Great Lakes, and we turn our back on her. Think about that. Think of what we could do for this community. And we are a community of citizenry from all walks of life. We don't expect everybody to look the same or be the same, but somehow we figured out a way to live together and do great things, build great companies, build the finest metro parks in the country, now have one of the finest research universities in the top 70 in our country. We've done a lot together, but I think visually we could do a whole lot more. So I just throw that out to you as you think about what's going to happen. And then in terms of our children and grandchildren, the route from the Gordie Howe Bridge to Columbus is a highway. The amount of truck traffic it has to carry on a thoroughfare that is already overcrowded, and oftentimes I use it all the time because I use the Detroit airport. I'd rather use the Toledo airport, but that hasn't been possible anymore. To think about some type of track that would take automated trucks, or whatever you want to call them, and take all that cargo and save pollution. We can do that. We can do that in this state. And it's going to take wise citizens to participate in that kind of visioning. So I thank you very much for all of this. The federal share here, I'm still waiting for Pat to give me the final number, but it comes through the federal gas tax and also through legislation like Build Back Better, where we got some of that money. It's at least 23 million, 23.7, but it's probably more than that. So the federal government was a participant, but only with the guidance of the local community. So congratulations to all. Thank you for helping us. And to those pilots who flew over us, somebody made that happen. That just didn't happen by accident. And to let you know, 42 years ago, that was a pretty dusty field. And today, we have one of the 6 finest war-ready F-16 units in this country. And our people did it. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Congresswoman. That is $37.7 million of federal money, so I just looked that up. But as we wrap up, I want to talk about some future projects. Along this 28 corridor, you're also going to see a roundabout at Stairshire Road, as well as Alvin Road in the future. 475 east-west, which is the north side of Toledo, we're working in design on that portion. And then the last section of 475-75 loop that really is going to see these generational improvements would be in the Perrysburg section from 75 all the way up to the Maumee River. So with that, I actually asked this person, they wanted to speak, or kind of twisted around and speaking last second, but I'd like to ask Senator Alex Hudson to the podium.
Good afternoon. I too am honored and humbled to be here, as with everyone else, because of what you've already heard. The fact that we do have a public-private, public-public partnership. The fact that we have decided that we can work together as a region, and that we do look to the experts for how we solve our problems. And I was trying to get information from my staff about what was the state's contribution. And it's easy to give dollars and cents about what comes from Columbus. But I think it's more important for us to show what we have been able to do to get Columbus to understand that Northwest Ohio, north of the Maumee River, is indeed a part of the state of Ohio. And I think that this is one department that I know with Director McCauley's vision and leadership, that he has been the spokesman in the Department of Transportation to try to get them to understand how vitally important it is for us to be connected to the rest of the state of Ohio. We've heard conversations or comments about the Gordie Howe Bridge. You've heard comments about the issue of transportation, moving goods and supplies. I just left a conference in Canada with the Canadian legislators that border the Midwest. And much of our conversation was about the issue of trade. And not just oil, which is very vital to us in this region, and the oil lines and the pipelines, but also about moving grain and other commodities between Ohio and Canada and vice versa. This particular project, as you said, Rob, is a wonderful, I said the wrong name, I really did, that's sorry. I know, you knew my bad. But it's most important that we recognize that with this vision that we have put ourselves on the map, and I can continue to proudly represent Northwest Ohio. And the one thing I want most important for all of us, those who are in elected office and those who are part of this community, is that we are a region. We are not individual communities, but together we are able to make things happen. Sandy, in her comments and in her leadership, and Team McCod, have been beating that drum. And I too am beating that drum so that when I stand on the floor of the Senate and talk about Lucas County, Northwest Ohio, I can point to this project and say this is how we do it up here, and that we are able to address the needs of our community and be able to show the rest of the state of Ohio and the nation that we know what we're doing in Northwest Ohio. And again, congratulations to you for your leadership. Congratulations to all of the elected officials that this particular gateway will connect. And thank you to all of you that are here, the engineers, the workers who made this possible. Because without all of us coming together, without all of us seeing a vision, without all of us understanding the need for teamwork. Now I'm going to leave you with this one. Teamwork makes the dream work. And my dream for us in Northwest Ohio is to continue to be that beacon in the northwest corner of the state that will make sure that others know that we too are part of the state of Ohio. And that is it. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
All right, thank you, Senator. I just wanted to recognize a few other elected officials that RSVP'd here. Clover Township Trustee Barb Lang, and we're in Clover Township Fiscal Officer Gavin Pike. Also wanted to recognize, I always like to recognize our partners at the State Highway Patrol. We work very closely with them. I know Captain Bowers, the head of the Finley District, is up here, so thank you, Captain. Thank you, Lieutenants, for being out here. In closing, thank you, everybody, for coming out today. And thank you for your patience during construction. Please watch out for the workers, watch out for those orange barrels. Slow down. Reminder, we'll take some time to remove the barricades before officially opening by the end of the day. So please pay attention to our personnel as they direct you out. So we're going to actually have a ribbon cutting. Anybody's welcome to join. We'll have our speakers cut first, and then we'll follow with ODOT personnel, then contractor, and then consultant staff, and then anybody else that wants to join. So thank you very much, and have a great day.